PASCAL. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you guys all had a wonderful weekend, enjoying your marvelous Monday, keeping it classy, keeping it wonderful, kicking ass and taking names. You know how it is. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your day. It is Monday, start of a new week. It's time to get things popping, make things dope today. You know what I mean? Don't forget, every day is an opportunity to turn it all the way around. All right? So, this is your first time checking out this show. Thank you for checking out this show. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Please go hit that like button down below. Do not forget to crush that subscribe button. Be really great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. So please don't forget to do all those things. And also hit that notification bell so that you know whenever I go live, which sometimes it's sporadic as hell. You know when I go live or when I drop a video. All right. So please do us that favor. That would be appreciated as hell. All right. Good morning to everyone who's starting to file in. Okay. There's a lot of stuff that we got to talk about. There's a smattering of different things today. Like I said, I'm still going to give you a little bit of stuff that's revolving around the Gabby Petito, Brian Laundrie thing. There has been something very interesting that has happened as of recently. And I feel like we have to talk about it. It kind of goes back to the root of what we talked about before when it revolves around the body cam footage that we saw of Gabby Petito, Brian Laundrie, that whole altercation, or that whole, not the altercation, but the interaction that they had with law enforcement in Moab, Utah. So we got to look at this, a piece of information that I found. I just found it interesting. And I'm just bringing it up for conversation's sake, okay? Of course, we definitely have to talk about this whole thing about the Ahmaud Arbery trial. It is beginning today. They just began just a few minutes ago. I was just watching it as I was setting everything up over here. And like I said, you know, there is a lot. And then, of course, we got to talk about the death of Colin Powell. And that kind of, obviously, for a lot of us, I'm sure, came out of left field. I didn't even know that he was in the hospital. Last thing that I was hearing was that Bill Clinton was in the hospital due to some complications. But now we're hearing that Colin Powell has passed. So like I said, there's a lot of different things that we got to talk about. So we're going to get it popping. But before we do, I want to say a little bit. Thank you so much for becoming a YouTube family member. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like I said, we do have that join button down below. You can crush that. It's only $4.99 a month, y'all. But it helps fuel this show so we can keep giving you your stories, your controversies, your pop culture, and your conversations for the day or the week, however many times you watch this show. All right. So, you know, without further ado, we got to jump into this. Okay. This is a very weird thing. This piece that I'm about to show you, because it kind of goes with what I was thinking in the very beginning. It's echoing what I thought in the very beginning, but it also is kind of going against. I mean, it's going against a lot of things. All right. But it is also kind of confirming a theory that I had in the very, very, very beginning of this whole Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito case or soap opera. Okay. Now, let me pull this up because I gotta obviously pull this thing up. Because like I said, it is, where'd it go? There it is. This is, like I said, very strange to me. But at the same time, it does confirm some theories that I feel like a lot of people had in the very beginning, and then everything took a left turn because obviously things were going down a different road when we were as we have been covering, and as a bunch of people have been covering this story about Brian Laundrie, about Gabby Petito, and all that. So now I'm just gonna say this piece because for me, this doesn't make sense really, but I'm gonna read this out loud for you guys to hear it, to see what you guys think about all this. Actually, before I go into this this tweet, there is an article that I wanted to pull up because it's now they're saying, so Roberta, okay, Roberta, okay, Roberta, I call her Roberta, okay, Roberta Laundrie apparently was not a huge fan of Gabby Petito, was not a fan of Gabby Petito at all. This is according to a coworker by the name of Brittany Coleman. Now, you might be wondering, who the hell is Brittany Coleman? It sounds like Brittany Coleman was not only just a coworker, but a good friend of Roberta Laundrie, so much that Roberta wanted Brian to marry or to get with Brittany Coleman instead of him being with Gabby Petito. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, but like I said, I wanted to pull this up because this is something that's been floating around. Articles have been popping off for the past 2 hours about this particular thing. I figured, you know what? We might as well look at this. We might as well open it up, have a conversation about this. So here it is. Brittany Coleman, Brian Laundrie's mom, hated Gabby Petito, wanted son to marry Coworker, which is her. All right. I do have another thing, a little tweet that I'm going to pull up here in a second, but this is what this article is saying in meow, okay, .com. So, in a new twist to the Brian Laundrie Gabby Petito case, it has been claimed by many that Brian Laundrie's mother, Roberta Laundrie, quote unquote, hated Gabby Petito. In fact, she apparently wanted her son to marry Brittany Ann Coleman, one of her young coworkers. Brittany first emerged into prominence after she defended Brian in some of the DV posts seeking #justice for Gabby Petito. She also wrote elaborate posts in support of the Laundrie family, where she shamed Gabby time and time again. Brittany claimed that, contrary to popular belief, Brian Laundrie was actually the victim in their relationship, as Gabby, quote unquote, abused him. Now, unconfirmed claims have surfaced online that Roberta Laundrie preferred Brittany Coleman over Gabby Petito as a future daughter-in-law. Internet sleuths have dug deep into Brittany Coleman's close relationship with Roberta Laundrie. One of her photos shows Brittany wearing a poncho hand-knitted by Roberta, where she calls the latter the quote-unquote most kind and wonderful person in the world, in the whole world. It must be reminded in this context that Gabby Petito's mother, Nicole Schmid, has previously stated that Brian Laundrie's mother loved Gabby, quote-unquote, like her own daughter. Now, I do have this little tweet. I wanted to show this to you. This is Brittany Coleman, okay? And this is somebody who put it up as a tweet, so I wanted to read their tweet really quick, their statement here. They said, let's talk Brittany Ann Coleman. She worked with Roberta at Suffolk County. Brittany will die on the hill she stands on, that Gabby Petito was a horrible person who abused Brian. It seems Roberta hated Gabby and wanted Brian Laundrie to marry Brittany. Roberta made this poncho that she's wearing right now as we speak in this photo. Now, here's the other piece right here. This is a statement. Just so you guys know, this is a statement that was written by Brittany Ann Coleman, and we're going to read it right now. So, Roberta Laundrie, the most kind and wonderful person in the whole world, my 1 in a billion friend, handmade me this gorgeous and cozy poncho with a removable cowl neck just for me. I can't thank you enough for such an amazing gift. so many compliments on your craftsmanship, and ironically, the splotches of brown you were afraid you might regret seem to be complimented almost as much as the poncho itself. Every time I see it, several times a day, it puts a huge smile on my face, and I wear it. And when I wear it, it gives me a hug full of love you put into it. I'm so blessed to have you in my life. This is from Brittany Ann Coleman. Now, obviously, this is from about over a year ago, okay? But they clearly show that there is a connection, family, friendship, all that stuff, okay? So this kind of goes with what I was saying before when we saw the first body cam footage. Now, I'm not sitting here saying anything. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, I totally agree with this or anything like that. But this is kind of like running around the rumor mill and saying that Roberta Coleman wanted to, or Brittany Coleman, wanted people to know that it was Gabby that was the abuser and not the other way around. Which, in my personal opinion, I find it weird. Now, I said this in the very beginning. I saw a opening. We saw the first body cam footage, right? We saw that thing. We saw that whole thing. Obviously, there was an altercation that happened in the car. People are. The narrative has been going back and forth. In the very beginning, I feel like a lot of people were like, oh, okay, so maybe she was the aggressor. Maybe she was the one who put her paws on this man, not the other way around. And maybe that there was a moment of anger. I even said it in the very first time I saw the body cam footage. I thought maybe it was one of those things where she swung, she missed, she tripped, and she fell. Or he had enough and he put his hands on her. Doesn't justify anything, right? But that's still a theory, right? That still can be a theory. Still doesn't justify, still doesn't bring Gabby Petito back on this earth. It's still wrong. It's still horrible. And as we said in that one, I think we talked about it. We had an open panel, an open discussion right after we watched some of the body cam footage or the whole body cam footage. I opened up the panel and we had a conversation. And I remember somebody saying, keep your hands to yourself. Doesn't matter what sex you are. Keep your hands to yourself. So what if, I hate to go back to the root, but what if there was some sort of information out there that's just been quiet? What if the story that we're looking at was a little bit different? Just a little skewed. Still, no matter what, you still have a man on the run who has done something very, very bad. Still very, very wrong. Okay? Period. No one should ever put your hands on anyone, period. But, or we play this other hand. This is just a person who is enamored, right? Loves Roberta. Will like this post says, will die on a hill for Roberta. So believes everything that's being said. Everything. To her. Whatever Roberta says to her, she's just taking it as scripture. So she could be completely in the dark about this whole thing. And of course, maybe Roberta did really like this woman a lot and say, oh, I wish you and Brian could have met before he met Gabby Petito. That's a good possibility too, y'all. That's a very, very good possibility as well. But just because somebody made a poncho for you doesn't automatically mean that what they say is just, like I said, is scripture. But this is the thing that's going around right now. I mean, there's plenty of other things like these sightings and so on and so forth, but I'm not going to waste your time with all that BS. I'm going to be straight funky. We all got better things to do than to be running to run into the TV or run into your screen going, oh, there's another sighting. There's sightings everywhere. There are dudes who are bald white men that are getting in trouble for no reason because they match close, maybe not really, to the description because they're white, they're bald, and they have a beard, and they happen to be hiking right now. See, let me just say this really quick. This is not the time to be on a trail if you are bald, skinny, and white and have a beard. This is not the right time. Everybody should stop hiking for a while. I'm saying white, bald men with a beard that are hiking right now, I highly recommend you take some time off. Postpone it for next year. Postpone it till springtime or something. This is not the right time to be hiking out here in these wilderness streets. I'm just letting you know. Okay? Period. So, like I said, I'm not here to sit here and say that what this woman is saying is 110% facts. I'm not. I just find the situation very interesting on how everybody and their mama, how easily swayed somebody can be, especially if you are a friend. You'll completely ignore like the truth sometimes because of what you're hearing from other people, from what you're hearing from a friend and all that. Now, I saw somebody in the comments said, hey, you should pull up some more of her posts on Facebook. If anybody has any of her posts on Facebook, because I can't log in right now, if you do have that, please do me a small favor and send those things to me, because I'd love to see them myself as well, so we can chop it up and talk about it as well, and see these other posts. That would be great. But like I said, we're going to sit there and, we're going to take what we get, and we're going to see what the media says. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'll be honest. We saw two different sides, two different angles of that body cam footage. And it's like the same but different at the same damn time. But what's funny is that from those two different 1 hour long pieces of body cam footage, the narrative that they're running off on is, ooh, Brian put his hands on her. That's all they've been saying. Even when the second body cam footage came out, they're like, oh, confirming that he hit her. They were hitting each other. They were hitting each other, period. Everyone likes to think that it's only one side and not the other side. It's both sides. They were both hurting each other. Both of them. The language that they brought into their relationship, the language of violence, was brought into the relationship, and they both were doing it to each other. So one thing that's interesting is that you have Gabby Petito's family saying one thing. You have Roberta or the Laundrie family saying another. You have people out here in the streets like I've talked about before. You got people out in the streets, neighbors screaming at the Laundrie house, basically saying, I heard her scream. I've heard her screaming in that house. Who's to say if that was her screaming at him because she was mad at him? Period. It could have been both. It could have been both things. It could have been her screaming at him and him screaming at her. Language. But yes, I agree. No matter what, whether if there's abuse or not, obviously there was. Doesn't matter who on what side was giving abuse to who. This woman should not be dead right now. And this man should not be on the run right now. But of course, we're going to hear these random, unpopular opinions, like what this Brittany Coleman woman just recently put out. We know for a fact that these are all just it's unpopular opinion. And obviously she's biased because she's friends with the mother. Now, is it true? We don't know. We will never fully know. Because here's the thing. This is why this is so messed up right now. This is why it frustrates me so much about this situation. Because we will never fully, truly get the truth. We won't. I'm sorry to say it like this. But the narrative and the stories that have been out recently are so jacked up that as soon as we hear the truth, we're not going to believe it. We're not going to fully believe it. Like, for example, let me just ride with me on this, okay, guys? Ride with me on this. What if they do find a body and they say, oh, we found Brian Laundrie's body? Do you think we're going to automatically believe that? He going to be Elvis. Like I said, he is turned into a mythical creature. He is a fantasy character. Unless we physically see him face to face on camera, moving his gums like this and saying, yes, I was dead, blah, blah, blah. If they say we found his body, let's just say he's dead. We found his body, so on and so forth. No. Come on, man. You think we're all going to believe that? You know, for a fact, there's going to be all these other channels that are going to be coming out here, throwing out their 2 cents of, no, he's still alive. He's in Spain. He learned a new language. No, he's in Paris wearing a beret. Les enfants. Les fromages. Like, come on, y'all. So what if Roberta is telling the truth or her side of the truth? No one's going to believe her. Brittany could be saying something. Gabby Petito's family, the only people that anyone's really going to listen to and believe is the Petito family or her extended blended family. And I'm not sitting here saying anything wrong with that. Of course, as it should be. But what if we're looking at one angle, but we're not seeing all of it? What if? I hate to say this, but it's like we should be seeing in full Technicolor right now, but we're only seeing black, white, and gray. And what's sad is that's the only way we're going to see it. That's how messed up. That's how messed up this narrative has become. Instead of us going, wow, these are two people that have done so many bad things. Like, this is a situation that just went really, really bad. If only they could have. And thank you, dear Dana. The Petito family never painted him as an abuser. Thank you. No, you're right. What I'm trying to say is they can basically say anything at this point, and the narrative is going to fit that particular narrative, or the narrative will change and morph around that narrative, that new piece of information, if that makes any sense. That's just what I've seen on how this has gone. I tweeted you the post. Thank you so much, Amy Welsh. I do appreciate that. I'm going to go and find it really quick. But if you notice, this is just what I've seen. This is just what I've seen or noticed with my own two eyes. And here it is. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Okay? Because no matter what, this is a man that went on, like, ran off. And what he's done is wrong. Allegedly. What he has allegedly done is wrong. But obviously, we are not seeing the full colors. We're not seeing the full spectrum of colors right here, right now. We're not. And I don't think we ever will. Like I said, I'm not justifying this man at all. This woman should still be alive. But I just find it very interesting when how the narrative, how the perspective can change, can turn on a head. So when I heard about this piece and I saw this, I was like, what? Interesting. But it did make me think, like, how much of this are we really? Because yes, it's even what I'm saying is not the most popular opinion. I'm not feeding that full narrative of like, oh, he did this and this and this and he's no. What he did is terrible. What he did is absolutely unspeakable and allegedly and ridiculous. And this man should be brought to justice, period. But I feel like the perspective has been so turned on the lens has been turned on its end. And I'm just wondering if we ever will really, truly get the full truth. Whether he is brought in alive or if he's brought in dead. Will we really, truly get the truth that we're seeking as an audience, as the consumer of this news? So let me see here. I just got something from Amy Welsh. Sorry, I'm just reading this really quick. Sorry. Okay, so there's a post from the mother from Brittany's mother. Is that what you're talking about, Amy Welsh? This is interesting. Let's see here. Okay. We'll take a look at this. Why not? Do me a favor, guys. I see over 700 people watching the show right now on all platforms. Please do me that favor. Hit that like button down below. That would really mean a lot. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. All right. That'd be great to have you part of the Pascal Show family. Anyway, let's take a look at this. Like I said, I'm not saying something that everyone's going to like to hear. Because like I said, it does not go with the narrative that's going out there. But I'm not sitting here saying that I'm with this narrative. I'm just exercising the thoughts. I'm exercising the questions. And that's what we're supposed to be doing as human beings, right? When we're looking at these stories, we're supposed to be thinking about these things. Doesn't justify, doesn't confirm nor deny. It's just like, hey, what's the story here? What is going on here? So apparently Martha Nassauer is Brittany's mother, and she put out a post on Facebook. I'm assuming this is the thing that Amy was trying to get me to see. Says, my daughter has been friends with Roberta and the Laundrie family since she and Roberta worked together in Suffolk County, New York. They remained friends after the Laundries moved down to Florida years ago. Roberta adored my daughter so much, She wanted my daughter and Brian to get together. Okay, that makes sense. My daughter felt he was just too young for her, and as he was around 19 when she was turning 30. Holy crap. That is old. That is much older. Okay, he was 19 at the time. Okay? So, Okay, so life went on. Sorry, I was reading the chat. Eventually, Roberta began expressing to my daughter that there was just too many problems with Gabby. Not having gainful employment, sleeping all day, drinking, smoking herb, not being grateful for meals, not helping around the house, etc. My daughter tried being supportive of Roberta, working on having patience and understanding with Gabby. Now you got to remember, they were staying in that house. Yeah, herbage, Latif, herbage. They were staying in that house for about a year. And I know I was saying before, oh, it was they must have been paying for rent or something like that. There was a lot of theories where maybe she was paying all the bills while he was, or she was saving up money while he was selling his art. But no, they were chilling in that house. Not doing anything. I'm gonna read that again one more time. Excuse me. It says here, not having gainful employment, sleeping all day, drinking, smoking herb, not being grateful for meals, not helping around the house, etc. Like I said, this is just one perspective. It's a different perspective that I think we should hear. So, Amy, thank you so much for this added piece. Okay. Like I said, this is just another angle that people should see. Hey, we're all human. No one is perfect. That doesn't mean that this woman should not be here anymore at all. But this is an account from the mother of Brittany, who used to be Roberta's coworker and I guess turned into obviously a good friend. So I'm going to repeat that again. My daughter tried being supportive of Roberta, working on patience and understanding with Gabby. Roberta seemed relieved for a little break when they began their quote-unquote van life adventure this past June. Clearly, something went sourly wrong along the way. If anything, I've learned not to jump onto any bandwagons until the truth is revealed. Like I said, will we ever really, truly get the truth? I don't know. We truly don't know anything yet. Roberta has not corresponded back to any of my daughter's texts/messages. Well, I guess she ain't talking to nobody. Not nobody. Are you really surprised? I don't think she's talking to anybody. I don't think she can trust anybody. You don't think that people are going to sit there, a friend's going to go, well, how's everything? And then she responds. You don't think that person's going to try to sell that information to the media? Just saying. I hope that the truth reveals itself sooner than later. But no, there's always more to the story than what media reports. Wow. Like I said, I did not predict this. I didn't know that this was going to be written in here. But like I said, we only get one angle, and what the media is feeding us and giving us all the time doesn't justify anything. Doesn't justify Brian Laundrie at all. He is a terrible human being. Allegedly, he is on the run. You are a terrible dude if you're going to be on the run like that. Clearly, you did something wrong. This woman died by strangulation. Clearly, you did something wrong here. Clearly. It's really a tragedy. I'm shocked by the entire story, but more shocked that this is the same family my daughter thought the world of, and now this. None of us, including the speculative media, can really feel any way about it until the truth actually comes out. And it always does. I don't entirely agree that on that last part that Martha said. I think that there's a lot of truths that do come out, but I don't think we get the full spectrum, the full truth. Because even though we get the truth, let's just say we get the truth from, we get the truth from Brian. Will we get the full truth from Brian? We don't know. How do we know we're going to get the full truth from the man? He could come back and make something up. He can make up anything. Anything. Anything is possible right now when it comes to this. But like I said, we have to look at the other sides of the spectrum because, like I said, we all have been on one side of it, and that's totally fine. It's totally fine because what we know is wrong. What is wrong is wrong. This woman is dead, and this man is on the run. That is completely 110% wrong, regardless if she put her hands on him or not, or vice versa. Regardless, this woman should still be alive right now. But are we going to get the full spectrum? Are we going to get the full truth of everything? Like I said, I'm just here to challenge thought. I'm just here to challenge y'all to think a little bit. But I know it goes against it's unpopular opinion, I guess, to think a little bit more outside the box sometimes. But that's from a mother. Let's see here. Hold on. Do we have more? Okay. All right. So there's another post. I'll show it to you guys. What in the hell? I'm not logged into Facebook, so it looks really, really funky, but I'm going to show this to you guys too. This is I guess this is a statement. This is a statement from Brittany herself. And I'm just reading this as I see. Edit. A lot of people told me to delete this post to make my account private and hide myself from the world. But I'm hoping the more time and energy everyone spends harassing me will take the time away from them being hurtful to other people. The world is filled with ugliness, and if I can absorb some of it and spare someone else, I will. To those who are for those who are thanking me for trying to expose the unjust, biased, and profit media, and to try and stand up against people harshly judging one another as if they know everything that happened between those two people. Thank you for keeping your heart and mind open. God bless you. P.S. Mental health issues are nothing to joke about. Countless people are killing themselves, and countless others are hurting or killing each other because the issues are not being addressed or taken seriously, and there's still a stigma that makes people afraid or embarrassed to get help they desperately need. Stop perpetuating the stigma and promote taking care of your mental health and setting healthy boundaries. I agree. Absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt. We should be taking care of ourselves. We should be setting up healthy boundaries. We should be taking mental health very seriously, but we don't. It's still a thing that's kind of coming around. It's kind of coming around. But everybody is so ashamed to talk about where they are mentally. So far, this lady Brittany ain't wrong. She ain't wrong with that. Mental health is a very serious thing, and we should be taking it seriously, but we don't. We're quick to avert our eyes and look somewhere else and just go, "Oh, she crazy. She just crazy." No, it's not fair. This person just needs to be talked to or maybe listened to. Sorry. This person's crying out for help, but we don't do that. We always look away. We shake our head and we keep moving. And next thing you know, that person ends up dying or they do something terrible to somebody else. Just saying. A tragedy like this could have been avoided. Mocking and spewing unproductive, hateful things doesn't help anyone in any way. It's self-serving that you have convinced yourself it is serving some sort of justice without any regard for who is hurting or helping. It's hard to believe. I know Brian, excuse me, and he's really nice, and his mother is an absolute gem. I worked with Roberta. She crocheted, this is the part, she crocheted me a poncho. She's given me so much advice throughout my time working with her, and we've remained close friends since then. And it breaks my heart to see two families going through such horrible things, and the entire world is gawking and throwing their 2 cents in and making fun of them like we're in an elementary school and nobody taught each other to be kind to one another. I think so. Hardest thing. I think the hardest thing is all the people acting like they know what happened before any information got out and talking horrible things about Brian and his family. There was another murder not far from there around the same time, but there was no big press on it. What I do believe is that Gabby has a laundry list of mental health issues, financial irresponsibilities, and other issues. And Brian and his family have been so supportive through the years. Excuse me. She lived in their home rent-free, both with the sister of Brian and with the parents at different times. I spoke with Roberta at length about some of the situations that had occurred in the house while they were all living together. It did not sound easy. The fact that people are saying Brian stole her van and used her card when I know he poured in so much of his savings for her to live her dream and to try to make her happy is heartbreaking. He's being treated like the scum of the earth, and how his parents are being treated like the parents of the scum of the earth because they're trying to do the right thing and protect him. Wait a second. I don't agree with this part, but okay. And anyone who thinks they wouldn't do whatever they could for their child doesn't deserve children. Now, I don't agree with this part. She's going off the beaten path for me. So I'm just reading this out loud, but I do not agree with this at all. Okay. The truth may never come out, the whole truth. And even if Gabby was murdered by someone else, if it turns out it was an accident or self-inflicted, Brian and his family will forever be hated. And even if he's completely proven without a doubt not to be the one responsible for her death, half of the world thinks they quote unquote know what happened based on a few articles. That's scary. So I'm really glad that I got this. And shout out to Amy Welsh. Thank you so much for sending this to me in a tweet. I really do appreciate it. Guys, please do me that favor. Follow me on Twitter, The Pascal Show, one word. Also follow me on Instagram, The Pascal Show, one word. Now, here's the thing. The end goes off the beaten path for me. Because here's the thing. No matter what, I don't give two dams. If that was my son and he was involved with somebody's death, I'm asking him to do the right thing. I'm bringing in the lawyers. I'm bringing in the law enforcement. I'm sitting there saying we are going to go through this together. We're going to fight this the right way. I'm not sitting there turning away and letting him take his Mustang out to the swamp because he wants to quote unquote be one with nature and meditate in some damn swamps. I don't agree with that part. But with everything else, hey, this is her perspective. This is all her perspective. I do agree with what she's saying here, that mental health is a serious thing, and we should be taking it more seriously than what we have been. Real talk. But we never get to hear this other side. We hear, and like I said, I am not knocking her, Gabby Petito at all. I'm sure she was a wonderful woman. I'm sure she was. But we don't know fully 100% who she is. Now, here it is, though, too. I'm going to pull this out, too. Just because somebody has a bad day, let's just say, or has a bad moment, or there's a little bit of a glitch in the matrix, let's just say, right? Where they show their worst side of themselves, does not automatically mean that that's who they are every single day for the rest of their lives. We are all human. We get angry, we get mad, we get happy, we get sad. We're hilarious, we're comedians, sometimes we're just POSs out here too. But that's what makes us human. So we can't automatically look at, let's just say, Brittany Coleman's post and what the mother has posted as well, and automatically think that that is absolutely 110% the truth. That could just be one small sliver out of a very complicated pie of a human being. Just saying. I've made plenty of mistakes in my life. Just like every single person that's watching this show right here. We have all made mistakes in our lives. That's what happens. But what sucks is that when something like, God forbid anything of this kind of scale would happen to anyone, people tend to lean on the negative, or they lean on the positive. See what I'm saying? We're looking at Brian Laundrie and we're only seeing the negative. We hear about Gabby Petito, and we're only hearing the positive. She lit up the world. She had the most wonderful personality, so on and so forth. But then again, you got to remember, she was not a saint, nor is Brian, nor is anyone on this planet. So this is a sliver of a possible perspective of who Gabby Petito really was behind closed doors. That does not justify her death. Nothing will ever justify her death. Let me make that abundantly clear. Nothing will. But at the same time, what if this is a decent account on how she was in that home? You also got to remember, they were probably enablers of each other. Let's be real. She was sitting around. If this is what is being said with the mother and the daughter, right? The Brittany Coleman and her mother. Let's be real. Let's math it out here real quick. She was in their home, rent-free, allegedly from the mother of Brittany, and actually and Brittany too. She wasn't really doing anything. She was staying in the home, enjoying her time. I guess they were smoking a lot of weed, herbage, as the mother said, smoking a lot of herb, drinking a bunch, sleeping in, and not doing anything with their lives. But here's the thing. Brian was doing the same damn thing. You don't think that they were enabling each other? What are the possibilities of that, guys? That they were enabling each other. And obviously there was so much codependency going on. You could see it in the body cam footage. The codependency was real. Yeah. Let me get this. Dear Dana, she says, Pascal, thank you so much for the comment on YouTube. And guys, thank you so much for the comments. I appreciate you guys coming in and all of that. And so you don't have to copy and paste it. Dear Dana, I got it. I put it right up here. So do you think you are set up? Do you think you are set up to be cable? Okay. Do you think you are set up to be, I guess, capable of strangling someone to death? Just saying, I don't think so. I don't think, no. I think what I'm trying to understand what you're saying. No, I think he did the same. I think he did the damn thing. But this is all alleged. I can't really say he did it because legal stuff. Okay. Oh, Abel. Let me put that up one more time. Do you think you're set up to be able? No, to be capable, I think. Let me see. I think she just repeated it again. Yeah, capable. Okay, I was right. Capable of strangling someone. Let me do that one more time. Where did it go? Damn. There it is. Capable. Thank you. Now I get why you repeated it. Sorry about that. Do you think you were set up to be capable of strangling someone to death? I think not. No. Like I said, let me repeat that again. I don't think that he was set up. He most definitely did something. Period. He most definitely did something, but I have to say allegedly. But it's interesting to hear other perspectives, because also you got to remember, we're not hearing anything from the Laundrie family. They're staying quiet. They're doing what they need to do. But at the same time, even if the mother had some feelings about Gabby and maybe thinking that she was not right for her son and all that stuff, still does not mean that her life should have been taken. I just want to make that abundantly clear. But it's interesting when you get a different perspective, when you hear from outside of the bubble, because we haven't heard anything from the family. We haven't heard anything. And and don't get me wrong, I think it's messed up with what's going on. I think that I wish that the Laundrie family would just actually own up, step out, and just speak and say their piece. Because right now they have the angry mob. They got people, hammering signs into their lawn. They got all this crazy ish going on in front of their house. I wish they would just come out and just say something. Just say something and be done with it. Save a little face. But they're not going to do that. So what we're going to do, what are we going to all do? We're going to sit there. We're going to speculate. We're going to think what we need to think. I mean, I've said plenty of things. I still do think that the parents have something to do with him disappearing. I don't know why they agreed to do that. I don't think they should have at all. I think it was the dumbest move ever to do. But they shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have done that. But it is interesting when you do get a different perspective, because right now the narrative that's being drawn out there, that's being written right in front of us live every single day, is Gabby was a saint. When here it is, she is human. She is flawed. Still does not merit her being killed at all. But that was information that should have, this is information that is interesting. And it gives a little bit more perspective into it makes the story a little bit more three-dimensional. You know, like I said, the story is very interesting. It still keeps developing as we go. God knows what happened in around the 27th, around that time where she went missing, where she was killed. And all I ask is like, hey, just think a little bit. Just think a little bit outside that, just a tiny bit outside that box. Just a tiny bit. Like I said, not asking for much. Not asking for much. But I do think that there was a even amount of violence going on between both of them. And I think you see it in the video and the body cam footage. The language of violence was already incorporated into their relationship for a very, very long time. And I don't think it was only one person that was always the assailant. I think they were both assailants and victims at the same time. That's what I think. But still does not justify someone not being here anymore. And like I said, we've already done this. You know what I'm saying? We've already seen this. We've already seen all the false sightings of him and all that stuff. And there's obviously now there's this new thing where they found a hut and I guess they found a fugitive that was in the Carlton Reserve. But I really don't think that he's in the Carlton Reserve. I don't. They haven't seen anything. No one has seen anything. There hasn't been any truths that have really exposed themselves around this thing. And like I said, you know, when it does come out, I will be talking about it. But right now, it's nice to hear some different angles. Not full on, oh, some bald white guy hiking in the somewhere looks like Brian. You know, not all this BS, not all this BS sighting crap videos. I'm sorry. I don't have time for those. And like I said, I'd rather give you guys something that goes, hey, here's a different perspective. Whether you agree with it or not, this is just a different perspective. And it may not be fun. Let me just say that. It may not be a fun piece to talk about, but at the same time, it is a conversation that needs to be said. You want to know why I'm saying this too? Because I've been thinking about this like crazy lately. Because, all right, so real quick story, okay, guys. So I've been watching the new American Crime Story on FX called Impeachment, okay. And what's very interesting is how the media, like, okay, growing up with that whole scandal, with the Bill Clinton scandal and everything, you know what I'm saying? I did not have sexual relations with that woman. That whole situation, Monica Lewinsky and everything. The way that, so interesting, the way that the media dressed up Monica Lewinsky and how they're portraying her, at least how she's being portrayed in this movie, is very interesting. In real life, the media made Monica Lewinsky look like everything you can think of. Homewrecker, you name it, right? You name it, everything, okay? Don't get me wrong. Did not agree with any of that ish. Obviously, no woman should be going and trying to wreck nobody's home, especially the president of these United States. But nonetheless, they threw her under the bus. They buried this woman when where the real villain was Linda Tripp the entire time. But that's not what we were seeing. That's not what the media, that's not what the narrative they were giving us. They were feeding us another narrative. Yes, Monica Lewinsky was wrong with what she did and everything. But at the same time, we never got the full scope. We never got the full story of what went down. behind closed doors. So that's why I'm saying this out loud. And I'm not saying that media is terrible or anything like that. I'm just saying the media will latch onto that one thing and they will ride it to the ground. And of course, we're consumers of this media and we'll eat it up. And it's like, wait a second. We should all be doing ourselves a favor because we are all intelligent individuals. We are all of us, almost 1,000 of us watching this show right now. We are all incredibly forward-thinking, thought-provoking, intelligent individuals where we just go, wait a second. The narrative's saying this thing, but is it really fully the narrative? That's all I'm saying. And like I said, and guess who says stop shaming Gabby? I'm not trying to shame anybody. Never am I ever trying to shame anybody. Never. That woman should still be on this planet. All I'm saying is we just have to look at if we can get access to be able to look at the full picture, all I'm saying is why can't we just challenge ourselves to think a little bit more outside of the box that media or the narrative is just shoving us into this box and saying it's just this. And I don't think it's as easy as that. I think their relationship was extremely, extremely complicated, but I also think it was toxic as hell. There's nothing wrong with a person thinking a little bit outside the box. This woman should still be alive. This man should not be out on the run for what he has done. This man, to me, is guilty as hell. But it's just interesting to see just a little bit more of a dimension into this human being or into this relationship. Like I said, no one is perfect. Brian Laundrie's not perfect. And Gabby Petito most definitely was not perfect. She's a human being. Period. But like I said, this is very interesting. How everything is being broken down and all that stuff. There has been footage of them, the last few, the last day of them out outside at some tourist spot and all that. And then I guess days later, that's when she left this planet. It's just, I don't know. Like I said, I'm still wrapping my mind around all this too. You know what I mean? Cassandra Miller, thank you so much. I appreciate you and your forthright, determined nature, Pascal. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Like I said, you know, hold on, I'm looking at this here too. Oh, shoot. What's up, Jesda? What's good, my brother? Sorry, a friend of mine. I haven't seen in a while. Hope you're doing well, my brother. Let's see. Michelle Diane. Pascal, this is my first time listening. Do you think race played a factor in how the Laundries, including Brian, has been treated thus far? You know, the thing is okay. We're going to go there. We're going to go there. Fine. That's fine. We're going to go there. Yeah, I think that things could have been different. I think things would have been different if this was a different situation, if you know what I'm saying. That's what I do think. And of course, once again, maybe this is unpopular opinion day. I don't know what it is, but I'm just being real. I think most definitely they would have knocked down those doors. They would have found everything and anything possible to drag the family in or drag this man in. Like I said, the fact that this man is still on the run and we still have not found him, bruh. How are the cops, how are the law enforcement messing up this royally? Why are the parents not brought in? Why are they okay? Why are they not brought in? But I feel like if it was a different situation, you know what I'm saying, they would have been brought in already. Interrogated until they confessed. Because like I said, I do believe that they know exactly where he is. Or, the lawyer. I think the lawyer knows exactly where he is too, without a shadow of a doubt. But here it is, though. I'm gonna be real, and I've said this before on the two different body cam footage things that we saw, the two different angles. I'm gonna be straight funky. If those two were black, they would have been arrested. One of them would have been arrested. They wouldn't have gotten just the, okay, we're going to put you in this other room, and then we're going to put you in this hotel, and we're going to, no. Nah. That story, this story would not exist. Excuse me. This story would not exist at all if there was melanin in their skin. I'm sorry to say that to anybody who's watching this that feels some type of way whenever we talk about race, but at the same time, sorry, but them are the breaks. Those two would still be here. Or one of them would have been shot or beaten. Something. Shoot, guys, I just saw a video just the other day of his name is Clifford Owensby, a paraplegic getting dragged out by his dreads out of his car. He was paralyzed from the waist down. He kept telling him, don't pull me out because I'm paralyzed. And they dragged him out of his car by his hair. Paralyzed, by the way. Just saying. The brute use of force on black men and women in this country is astronomical. I'm going to use another word. I get flabbergasted when I see stuff like that. You don't see it very often with people who are without the melanin, but you see it a lot on the other side. So I hate to say it like that, but I look at the videos and the countless encounters that I've had with the police, my own personal experience, and look at that and go, if they were not white, this might be a different story. In fact, what's crazy is they could still be alive, but they might be badly bruised. They might be dealing with some lawsuits with the Moab Police Department because of the police department's use of excessive force. But other than that, they'd still be alive. Maybe. So that is a very good question. And so I do appreciate that question, Michelle Diane. I appreciate that question. But real talk, this story would be completely different if the shoe was on the other foot. And I've said that a billion times. I have. Yes. So the family would have been brought in. They would have been interrogated till they couldn't even think straight, till they finally just started to just squeal, telling them exactly what needed to be said, the truth. Then this guy would have been found. He'd be in custody, and we would be watching in a year from now the trial. That's what we would be. That's what we should be expecting. But we're not seeing that right now. We're not. For now. Okay? But, like I said, it was just a different perspective. I just wanted to bring it up because I wanted to bring you guys something different, something that would make you think, rather than it just be another, Another Brian Laundrie sighting. Ugh. Ugh. Like until he is actually caught and we actually see him either dead or alive and they show him physically there, then boom, I will talk about it. But I have better things to do. We all have better things to do than to be running to our phones, running to our computers to see somebody go, oh, we almost had him. Another white guy that looks kind of like Brian Laundrie was found in the streets, in the wilderness streets, hiking through the woods. Once again, but it ain't him. Psych. Thanks for the couple views. Clickbait. Dope. I got better things to do. Don't you? I'm sorry. I got better things to do than do that ish. Don't you? I think you do too. Let me get this super chat. Wendy Jacobs, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Have you seen the pic of the guy who looks like him on a bike? Yes, I've seen it. The guy has a pointed chin like Brian. Closest pic I've seen. P.S. Love watching you. Thank you. I love watching you too, Wendy. You know, love what you did with your shower curtains. I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. But you know what? Yes, I have seen that photo. And like I said, I would rather it be something where, you see what I'm saying? I want to see him talk. I want him to be like, yes, I am Brian Law. Something, y'all. Not some BS where it's just like, oh, you know, it's a white guy, a bearded white skinny dude on a bike. Do you know how many mother lovers are out here? Man, some of them are on rollerblades right now. Let's keep it straight funky. Somebody out here looking like Brian Laundrie out here on rollerblades, living his best life on mother-loving rollerblades. And watch, there's going to be somebody out here going, oh, yo, click. Here's a photo of him having a fabulous life on damn rollerblades. We found Brian Laundrie. I'm just saying. We've already found him as like he's the Loch Ness Monster. We've already seen him as Sasquatch with all the fuzzy photo. I'm telling you, we could probably find life on another planet easier than finding a solid, good, clean photo of Brian Laundrie. Real bloody talk. Sorry, I said it. You could probably bust into some Johnny on the spot somewhere, and there's a Brian Laundrie lookalike taking a dump right now. He is cooking your dinner tonight. He is making breakfast at a little small diner in the corner of some random city right now. He's flipping burgers in a McDonald's right now. Real talk, he's Erwer. So like I said, until I actually see him in the flesh, like on camera, light bulbs, you know, the camera flashes are going off like crazy. And he's like, yes, I am here. I did. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm saying the pioneer said he's doing an Uber. Facts, man. You know what I'm saying? He's picking up your damn trash right now. He's delivering somebody's baby right now as we speak. You just can't see it because he's got the bonnet on and he's got the mask. But as soon as he takes it off, that woman who just gave birth, oh my God, it's Brian Laundrie. I'm just saying, he's Erwer. So until I actually see full on proof, and he's standing next to either law enforcement or his parents, there's no reason to cover all these false accusation videos because it's BS. And it diverts from the actual finding of him, if that makes any sense. So when he does pop up, I will be talking about it. Whether, like I said, dead or alive, if he's alive or dead, we're going to cover it. But I'm not going to waste our time being like, oh, there he is on a unicycle, juggling. Like, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Hanging out with a bunch of orangutans. Like, no, it's turning into a circus. Really, it is. Close calls, cool. But when it's like, oh, I saw Brian Laundrie look like, no, it's not him, but he looks like him, though. I got better things to do. You know? Wendy Jacobs, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. It would be great if FBI says he is caught. I agree. I'm waiting for that moment too, y'all. I want to see that actually go down. Man, I will be so happy when that does go down if he gets caught, because here's the thing. I don't want him to be found dead. I want him to be found alive and in one piece so that he can give us a variation of the truth, because here it is. We're not fully going to believe him unless he's full on going, yes, I did this thing. I blah, blah, blah. I put my hands around her neck and I did this and that and the other. But I don't think it's going to happen like that. I think he's going to give us his own variation of the truth. Whatever he's taken all this time to practice to get his story correct, because this is only buying him time to get his ish on point. Think about it. Do you think he's really just going to go, I'm going to confess everything, guys. Here's the truth. And if he is really telling the truth, are we really going to take it? If it doesn't fit the narrative that we've been fed over and over and over again for the past God knows how long, month or so, are we really going to eat it up? If it goes off just a little bit off the narrative that we've had, are we really going to believe him? I think not. I don't think anybody will. But here's the thing, though. He jacked it all up by what? Leaving. He jacked it all up by getting in his car, allegedly, and driving into the damn swamps. That's where he jacked it all up. So, the story, the narrative, has completely been blown out of the water, annihilated because of him running off. Guys, do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush that like button. Send it past 400 likes. That would really mean a lot. I see over close to 1,000 people watching on all platforms right now. So please hit that like button down below. And of course, if you haven't done that yet, hit that subscribe button, y'all. Please hit that subscribe button. Crush it, destroy it, all that stuff. I will always have real candid conversations with you about anything that's going on in the world. I understand some of y'all won't like what I have to say. Some of y'all might not agree with me, but hey, I always speak from the heart, and I'm always trying to have an open discussion and an open conversation with all y'all. So speaking of that, before we go into the other pieces of stories, the other stories that I got, I am going to open up the phone lines, okay? I am going to open up the phone lines. Why? Because you know what? I've been talking for a straight hour and 20 minutes, for crying out loud. I want to hear your thoughts on all this. If you guys if you guys disagree, if you guys agree, whatever, give me a call, 314-766-4581. I would love to hear your thoughts on all this. What are you thinking? You know what I'm saying? And Nick Gers, that's funny. You're funny. You're going bye-bye now. You're going bye-bye. Bye-bye. So, what the heck? There we go. What's funny is I didn't even see that. Thank you. And I read that out loud like an idiot. So, by the way, I do have these hoodies. They're available right now. By all means, go to the Pascal Show merch. The link is down below. Let me make sure that is in there down below. Yep. Go there down below. The reason why it's pink, you sons of guns, is because it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So these sweatshirts and hoodies are available, and some of the proceeds are going to a breast cancer awareness foundation. So please go, you know what I'm saying? Support the channel, support the boobies, save the boobies, all right? Yeah, Shay, he was a little piece of trash. But anyway, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Sometimes they just slip right through. You know what I'm saying? Before you even know it, you're sitting there and you're, oh snap! Now I know what he just did. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Okay. But anyway, I do have the phone lines open 314-766-4581. The number is at the top of the chat. You got something to say? Give me a call. Keep it classy and keep it respectful. Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Atlanta.
What's your name?
Dana.
Dana. Hey, Dana. How you doing? What's on your mind? Speak on it.
Hey, Pascal.
Hello.
How you doing?
I am good. Can you do me a favor real quick? Can you mute the show in the background? I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, I just see it.
Okay, great.
I'm under Dear Dana.
Say again?
I'm under Dear Dana in your chat.
Oh, okay, great. Dear Dana, yes. I figured. How you doing? Speak on it. What's on your mind?
With the whole Gabby and Brian thing, I think they both had issues. Of course, we all have issues. I'm a psychotherapist, so yeah, the whole thing bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
But there have been people come forward that when she did have jobs, that he didn't like her being exposed to other people, because for a long time she wouldn't date him when they were in high school. So that's why they ended up dating after the fact. But with the whole thing, you know, abuse comes in different forms. It comes in emotional, spiritual, physical. I don't think either of them were innocent in that, because they had a very codependent relationship. That being said, it takes a good 5 minutes to strangle someone to death. He messed up when he left the whole situation and went home.
Yeah.
Not when he just ran off. I did find out that Mom and Dad had plans to go camping prior to him coming home. They had a campsite for 2. They made the campsite for 3 prior to him even arriving in Florida. So they knew he was on his way home prior to him arriving. The Petito family, sorry, they said that before this happened, when they started dating and everything, that he would always come over there and be very kind, very polite. He'd read books to the smaller children before they went to bed, that they never had an issue with them, that they felt comfortable with her going camping because they felt like Brian would protect her. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
So the whole thing completely shocked them that this even occurred. So they never said anything about him being an abuser or anything like that.
Yeah.
These kind of relationships can go from emotional back and forth arguing,
right,
and they can escalate very quickly.
Absolutely. I'll say this though. Yes, and I appreciate you putting in that comment and correcting me. I wasn't trying to make it seem like they were calling him an abuser, because I don't think that they knew really a lot of anything. The family lived in separate states, on opposite sides of the East Coast. One was up north and the other one's down south. So she's only going to give the family a certain amount of information. He could be, in their eyes, he could have been a saint. He could have been a really great boyfriend. The only people that really know about the relationship, at least for that year that they were staying at the Laundrie's home, is the Laundries. They're the only ones that will really truly know everything, whether he was the aggressor or she was, or if they both were. God knows what. You see what I'm saying? But you're right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're right. But at the same time, the mess up is really after she died. Obviously, the real mess up is, of course, her death. But the mess up and what screws up everything and lets the narrative be anybody, like the media's new plaything, is when he got up, drove back home, let's just say, or when he just left and he disappeared. That's when the whole thing got jacked up.
If it was like, oh no, I just killed her,
right,
and he was like, what did I just do? him just leaving was the whole mess up. I mean, he should have called the cops or whatever, but he left. So that being said, too, the parents being in the mix and going camping immediately, that makes them guilty.
Right.
Holding him for 2 weeks before they did anything creates a hot mess.
Right.
So they have been complicit in it from not calling the cops for 2 weeks.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whether they're the kindest people in the world.
No. I mean,
So that's what turned it into a mess.
Yes. I mean, what's wrong is wrong. What's wrong that we've all seen is clear as day wrong. And the parents should have stepped up, done something about it. They should have turned this kid in and all that stuff. Regardless if they wanted to protect their son, the way of protecting their son would have been turning them in my personal opinion. You know, in my own personal thought, that's what should have happened. That's the best way of protecting your son. Because right now, your son is out there doing God knows what, right? And he could have taken his life. You never know. He would have been on watch in a cell. They would have made sure that he was okay, so that he could be there, so he can be tried in front of a jury of his peers, and he gets, you know, obviously sentenced within the full extent of the law, I would hope, or him being able to prove himself not guilty. But right now, he's looking guilty as hell. Like I said, this is not helping his narrative. It's ruining his narrative. His narrative doesn't even exist right now. And that's what's sad about it.
I mean, I'm a baby creator, but I'm mainly a psychotherapist. And unfortunately, this is what I feel. He is not one that is going to want to live his life in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And he did live, Gabby, and it was a crime of passion. I don't feel like there's going to be court time, because I feel like when it comes to the end of this right now, he's trying to, you know, play let's run from the cops. And he did have a gun with him.
Right.
So ultimately, I feel like before he ever ends up in prison or it goes to court, he will take his life. And that makes me sick because I want him to go to court.
Yeah, I think that if he gets caught alive, he will be seeing the inside of a courtroom without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. But I don't think he'd go there.
I would hope that he would, right?
Yeah, I hope so too.
I hope that he would. But yes, it really depends on what happens over the next, God knows how long it's going to take for them to take him in. I mean, here it is. We're past halfway through this month, and he's been gone for a while. They've been searching for him for a while, and they still haven't found him. I don't know. I'm not losing faith, because people have gone on the run for much longer. But we'll see. We'll see, Dana. You know what I mean? But I do appreciate the phone call. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much as well. I like your show.
Thank you so much. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, you on the mic? Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, this is Dave from Utah. What's going on?
Dave from Utah. What's up, man? What's on your mind? Speak on it.
Well, first, I just want to say love your show, brother.
Thank you, my man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man.
So with the whole thing, him being alive, I don't know. I can't believe it. I mean, everyone says he's a narcissist, right? And that narcissists don't do that, but I just don't see it. I mean, he killed the woman he loved, essentially, that he loved her, and he killed her in a moment of passion.
Right.
He goes home, he's freaking out. He doesn't know what's going on. So he goes home. Whatever he tells his parents, if he tells them, you know, Gabby couldn't drive the van home, he drives home. Gabby went to New York. She's flying home. She's going to come get the van. In that time, he figures out what he's going to do. Then he decides he's going to take the car over to the reserve. And he ends up walking around somewhere, and then eventually ends up killing himself. It might not be right where they think it could be. There's so much area around that spot where he could just be laying there in a bunch of bushes. I don't know. I think everyone's giving him so much credit to be alive and running around and hiding. I don't see it. I think he's gone.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gone. Like, you mean gone, like physically, like spiritually gone?
Yep. Like
Okay. So
his body's here, but his spirit has moved on.
Gotcha. So let me say this, bro. If him dead, his body would show up by now. They would have found his body. Like I said, unless somebody else discarded the body or buried it somewhere, chances are that if he is dead, we would have found his body somewhere.
What if he's not in that spot?
Then somebody else has something to do with it as well. Then the parents hired somebody to take care of it or something. I don't know. It just seems so strange to me that I don't know, it just seems weird. It doesn't seem like the parents, let's just say, I don't think the parents have that in them to just suddenly go, like, for example, son comes back home, he's freaking the hell out. Let's just play this scenario out, right? He's freaking the hell out. He's going, oh my God, I just did, she's dead. I don't automatically think that the parents are going to run over to them and say him and go, okay, buddy, look at the flowers, like he's Lenny from, of Mice and Men up in this piece. I don't think that they would put him out of his misery out of nowhere and then go bury his body. For me, it's a little bit of a stretch, but
no, I agree. I think what he probably told his parents was that, they broke up and it was a bad relationship. That's all I'm saying. So they might not know nothing about what happened. That's it. They're just thinking that, that's all that happened.
That's what they're letting everybody.
They're not trying to.
That's what they're letting everybody think right now, at least, right? That's what they're letting everybody know or think right now. But let's keep it straight funky. They were very after the fact when he allegedly drove off into the swamp. And then 3 days later, cops show up and they're like, oh, lo siento. We forgot to tell you he left. He hasn't been back for a few days now. Whoops. That doesn't make sense. So I don't think that the parents would go that far as to taking someone's life, right? Their own son's life. I don't think that. But getting him out of here as quickly as possible, I think that's possible. Especially, you got to remember, here's the other thing too. If we piece that little piece that we got from that account from Brittany Conway's account, I think that was her last name. Now I forgot her last name. Damn. Sorry. Coleman, sorry. Brittany Coleman's account, her mother's account. If we heard those pieces and mama didn't like Gabby too much because maybe she thought Gabby was a bad influence on her son, I can see her feeling in her mind justifying her son leaving, justifying protecting her son. She was a bad apple anyway. She was so bad. See what I'm saying? She made this time so terrible for my son. She made it so difficult. Now he could be wanted from, now she puts this death on his hands. Well, let's just say maybe she thought that too. Mama Laundrie.
Yeah, I mean, we just don't know. That's it. None of us really know what's going on. None of us know nothing. And that's the whole fact. And it's sad. It's definitely sad. Rest in peace, Gabby. But I love your show, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man.
Keep watching.
Thanks, man. Talk to you soon. Peace. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh my goodness, this is Laura from California.
Laura from California. What's up? Thank you so much for calling in. What's on your mind? Speak on it. Sorry, I don't mean to be an ass. I'm sorry.
No, that was funny. I need that with all this dark talk of going on here.
Some heavy stuff today. Heavy coverage today. What's on your mind? Speak on it.
Well, let's just see. This is why it's so tragic, I think, because I know that everybody is just right now. It's so many speculations and what if, and I think the basic for me, it always goes back to, and you've been saying it, like I feel like it is a crime of passion. I think this is not a typical, but it's an example of a white privileged family who has a son that got himself into the worst situation. And, we as people think of, what if I was in that situation? Or like when bad things happen to normal or good families. Like I know, because we don't know these people personally, that of course our imaginations are going to run wild. I mean, we are a society that has a channel that's dedicated to true crime. So we love this stuff, but we also have to put ourselves into this situation as if it was you or your son or your kid or your your kid's best friend. Like this is something that has shooken the foundation of, again, like a white privilege. We have money and we're going to clean up. We always clean up our son's mess. This time it's beyond, it's beyond comprehension of what he's got himself into. And I think we're watching it in real time. And it's like, I think you had mentioned the other day about watching like a car accident or, observing a car accident. Everybody wants to look. It's everywhere. We can't get away from it. But at the same time, it's something that we are personally putting ourselves into the situation. And I think for me, I keep going back to this is people, parents, and I think cleaning up a mess that can't be cleaned up. Sort of.
Yeah, like I said, this is a very this whole situation obviously is salacious. It's the titles are insane. It is real time. We're watching this true crime story unfold right in front of us every single day, every minute. There are other channels much worse than mine that are I'm just gonna be honest, that are and I'm not sitting here saying sorry, never trying to throw shade on another channel, because hey, people are bringing these things up and having conversations as well on their own channels, but some of them are taking it to the point where there is no factual anything going on. They're just going, oh, another sighting and another sighting and another sighting. Could this be him? Could this be him? And it's like, why are we even talking about this? Why are we even focused on this part? Just let's look at the facts. Let's look at these other perspectives. Let's look at other things other than, a random sighting. For me, it does not help with bringing out the truth or bringing out the information that needs to be said. I will pull things up and say, people are saying this dude, Brian Laundrie. Does this guy look like Brian Laundrie? Hell to the no, he don't. Can we move on now? You see what I'm saying? But there are other people other channels that are just riding on every single thing that is Brian Laundrie. I'm like, yo, only show us the bullets. Show us the things that are helpful to the story, helpful to understanding a little bit more fuller scope of what's going on with Brian Laundrie or with the Gabby Petito thing. That's why you don't see me running around going, hey, it's this or these random sightings that are, like I said, looking like Sasquatch or UFO photos. And I'm like, don't waste your time with that BS. When you actually have factual stuff, let's talk about it. You see what I'm saying?
Of course.
And it's
and you say even
sad.
this. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, please.
The Sasquatch thing, that whole. It is kind of funny how it has turned into that, because what we all say about that? Like in this day and age, you can't take a clear picture of like the Loch Ness monster or Bigfoot if it really did exist. So now it's getting to be that really a bald-headed, facial hair white dude. Like really, like again, it's a joke to be like, there's tons of them, but there's probably guys. You have a bald head. I'm just saying that like it's typical. Like we see it all the time. But that again, our society of fake news, it just runs rampant in everything. And yet, like, what have we learned from this? What has moved us forward as a people with this story? Nothing. It's just sad.
See? And so that's why for me, it's like, all right, we need to cut to the bullets and the actual truths or the facts. And then we can ruminate and conspiracize. That's what I keep saying. We can theorize or hypothesize about what's going on rather than us just going, it's Sasquatch. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look, a bird. Like, I got better things to do than feed you guys some major BS, right? Just so I can get a few clicks. I don't give a damn. I want to have great conversations. I love having a lot of views and a lot of people coming onto the show, but I'd rather it be because you guys are coming to me for real stuff, not just, I found the Loch Ness Monster and Brian Laundrie was riding his head. Is that him? Could it be him? Could it not be him? Get out of here with this mess. You see what I'm saying? And there are other stories going on in this world that matter. There are other things that are going on in this world that are much bigger than just this. But hey,
it's called The Story You Did Yesterday.
Exactly. And the others, there's others too. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? But sweetheart, thank you so much for calling in. I really do appreciate it. All right.
Thank you, Pascal. See you later.
See you later. California. Bye. Oh man. I'm gonna close the phone lines for now because we got to get into some other stories. But real quick, I wanted to say a big thank you to Uncle Stu, the old man on the block. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I'm sorry we had the phone calls and this has been sitting on in front of me for a while. So thank you so much. He says thank you so much for helping me by giving me knowledge about being a successful businessman and content creator. Wow. Thank you very much. No, thank you. I really do appreciate you hitting me up and hitting us up on the chat and saying that. That really does mean so much to me. I love this, and I if there's any pieces of advice that I can give anybody as far as how they can grow their channel or how they can find what they need to do, find what they want to do so that they can successfully grow their own channel. You never hesitate to hit me up, or maybe I might do a couple lives that are just specifically for that, because I'm sure a lot of people want to know a few things. One other thing, yes, Mark, I have no problem teaching you. Actually, then my name should be Sensei, right? Sensei? Anyway, but also the reason why I pulled up your name is I know that you have an interview going on in about an hour. I saw you saying it in the chat. I just wanted to say to you, Mark, Sensei, quiet guy, the good luck. I'm wishing you the best of luck with your interview. I'm sure you will crush it. I don't know what it's for, but hopefully it's something that is going to push whatever you are doing, whatever your passions are, further. So good luck with all that stuff, my brother. All right. So we got to go into some more stories, y'all, because we got more. Oh, Benjamin Dixon. What's up, man? Benjamin Dixon is in the house. Oh, and by the way, if you don't know anything about the Benjamin Dixon show, then you haven't been watching my show. This is a great show. I go on there from time to time and chop it up with him and his crew. He's a very, very well-spoken and very talented individual, and he also has an incredibly intelligent co-host on his show as well. Definitely check out the Benjamin Dixon show if you ever get time. And I might be on this Wednesday. I don't know. Their schedule has been a little crazy, but hopefully I'll be on sometime this week. We will chop it up and you'll see me over there. So by all means, go over to the Benjamin Dixon show and crush that subscribe button. Also, for those of y'all who are watching this show and haven't done it yet on my channel, sorry for being selfish, but dag nabbit, go hit that subscribe button, annihilate it, nuke it, destroy it. Hit that subscribe button, and of course, hit that like button. Send those likes past 500 likes. I see about 900 souls on all the platforms right now. Please go hit that like button on whatever platform you're watching this. Hit that follow button, hit that like button, and hit that subscribe button at the same damn time. Okay, confuse your computer because you're hitting those things at the same damn time. All right. What do you want? You want to subscribe? You want to hit the like button? What do you want to do? See what I'm saying? And then when it gets confused and you correct it, then hit the other one. Okay. If one works and the other one doesn't, do the other. Okay. But we got to go into this next story. And, of course, this is very important. This is what's been going on as of this morning. We have some stories here that we have got to get into. So let me pull this up right quick. Hold on 1 second. And like I've said before, when we get the full scope of everything, or if we get more information revolving around the Brian Laundrie case, Brian Laundrie story, promise you we will be talking about that. Don't get it twisted. We will be talking about that for sure. But we got to get into this piece as well. The murder trial of Ahmaud Arbery has begun. Now, so this article that I have right here is a little bit behind. I got some footage of the inside the court because they've already started jury selection today. But we got to go into this a little bit. So obviously the article says murder trial. Well, I hate when CNN does this ish to me. Okay. Murder trial for the killing of Ahmaud Arbery set to begin with jury selection in Georgia. And it has already started as we speak. But just a quick synopsis. 3 men are accused of chasing down and killing Ahmaud Arbery, a 25-year-old black man out for a jog, are set to stand trial for murder in Georgia this week in a case thick with issues of racism, self-defense, and cell phone video. So the 3, in my personal opinion, POSs, Gregory McMichael, his son Travis McMichael, and their neighbor William Roddy Bryan Jr. are charged with malice and felony murder and have pleaded not guilty. Surprise! They also face charges of aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment. Now, jury selection in their state trial begins Monday or today. All right. So we do have some footage of the trial, but I'm not going to jump into that. They have begun jury selection, but just recently, this morning on CBS Morning, the mother of Ahmaud Arbery was interviewed, and I wanted to show you guys this because, like I said, this is a story just as important as any other story that we are watching or talking about or seeing or consuming. This is extremely important. This young man didn't do anything. He was running. Then next thing you know, he was running for his life. And now he has lost his life. And these 3 men, I wouldn't even call them men, just these 3 individuals thought that they could take law into their own hands and ended up killing this young man, all because he was running through their neighborhood. So I want to show you guys this piece. Let's take a look.
Welcome back to CBS Mornings. First on CBS, we're talking to the mother of Ahmaud Arbery. Her name is Wanda Cooper Jones as jury selection begins in the trial of 3 men accused of killing her son. Gregory McMichael, his son, Travis McMichael, and William Roddy Bryan are facing state charges including murder, false imprisonment, and aggravated assault. Arbery was running on the street when the defendants chased him in their trucks. He was jogging through the neighborhood, and Travis McMichael shot him 3 times. The defendants have all pleaded not guilty. Travis McMichael argues that he shot the 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery in self-defense. They claim that they were justified in chasing Arbery because they thought he was a burglar. Wanda Cooper Jones joins us from outside the courthouse in Brunswick, Georgia. Good morning to you, Wanda Cooper Jones. It's really good to see you. I'm so sorry it's under these circumstances. But I read that you are certainly going to be in court today and that you're planning to go to court every day. How are you preparing yourself for this moment? And what does it mean to you?
This day means a lot to me. Thinking back when Ahmaud was first killed, we went through 3 prosecutors, we went through no arrests, and we finally made it this far. So this morning, I'm very grateful.
Yeah, if there hadn't been that cell phone video and those huge protests, we might not have had charges in this case.
That is correct. I think without that video, we wouldn't have an arrest, but I thank God that the video came and we got arrested, and now we're here to select the jury to finally get justice for Ahmaud.
You know, we should point out that your son was doing nothing wrong. The videotape showed that he had wandered in the construction site. He left. There was nothing was taken. He had committed no crime. And Travis McMichael is claiming self-defense in this case, saying Ahmaud Arbery was the aggressor here. What do you say about that?
I haven't watched the video in the entirety.
Haven't.
But I have family members and also my attorney. And everyone that has watched the video simply says that Ahmaud was not doing anything wrong. Ahmaud was approached. Ahmaud had the choice to either fight. First he ran, and then he had no option but to fight. And unfortunately, Ahmaud was killed in the midst of that fight.
You know, this case is about the murder of your son, but for so many people, this is a case about race relations in the South. Do you see it that way?
I do think that Ahmaud was murdered because he was Black. He was jogging through a predominantly white neighborhood, and he was targeted.
You know, there's a lot of chatter about what the jury should look like. Do you believe that you can get a fair and impartial jury in that area when there's been so much publicity in the case? Are you worried about that?
Yes, I have my concerns, being that the jurors will be picked from this community. There has been lots of miscommunications in the beginning on what happened on that day, but I'm hopefully that we'll get the right people in the right place to make the right decision.
What's your message to the jurors, Ms. Cooper-Jones?
I didn't get that question. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. She can't.
What is your message to the jurors?
She can't answer that.
Interesting.
She can't answer that. I hear Lee Merritt, your attorney, sitting beside you.
Yes.
All right, Lee.
Yes, ma'am.
I hear you. I hear it. Before you go, I'm always struck every time I see a picture of your son. He looks so much like you. You all smile alike. He has the shape of your face. What would you like us to know and remember about him on this day?
Ahmaud just wasn't a jogger that was jogging in a neighborhood in South Georgia. Ahmaud was actually my son. Ahmaud was loved. And Ahmaud was loved by many.
Yes, he certainly was. Wanda.
He most definitely was. And I remember showing this piece or talking about this when it first broke last year, and I broke down into tears because I couldn't fathom that. Let me make sure that these faces are seen here. I couldn't fathom the idea of these three men running after this young Black man and killing him because he ran through a construction site. I couldn't fathom the idea that we had that these people were out free for months, never saw anything as far as law enforcement knocking on their door and bringing them in to justice. I literally was sitting there going, is this the world that we still live in? Are we still living in this world? But this is still at the same time, still revolving around the same time where the George Floyd footage had come out and the sort. And the fact that these three men are standing trial. And I know I said the same thing about Derek Chauvin. And I'm still going to say it about these three men, the McMichaels and Brian. we live in a world where these three men could get off. Just saying. I'm sorry to bring in that, be the negative Nancy here. But they could literally get off if the defense does well or if the prosecution jacks this whole thing up. I pray to the sweet baby Jesus, okay, that the prosecution does the right thing, nails this thing, knocks this thing out the park, and these men are buried under this prison. But for the fact that we have to even sit here and wonder if there's a possibility that these guys can get off scares me about what the judicial system really is made up on. These men chased this young man down, tried to corner him off with their pickup trucks like he was livestock. When he felt like he was cornered and he had nothing else to do but to fight, he finally squared up and tried to fight. This man was shot point blank range 3 times. 3 times. This young man right here. All because of the color of his skin. You know, this is why I keep saying all the time, we need to do better, people. We need to do better, my family. And one thing that I love about this channel and love about this show is that it's all walks of life that are watching this show. All of y'all are watching this. Your hearts are breaking just like mine when I'm reliving this story. It shows that the world is changing. It shows that we are progressing towards something real. We still got a lot of work to do, but we are at least making steps in the right direction. And one thing that needs to happen here is these 3 men need to be tried, found guilty, and then thrown under that prison because this young man should not have been killed. And it's because of the type of narrative that is out here every single day that puts black men in a negative light. We are always put into a category where we are the threat. How was this young man a threat when all he was wearing was jogging clothes, some tennis shoes, and sweat from his run? How is this man a threat if he is just looking at a building, looking at the construction of a house? Whether he did or whether not he did take something from that construction site, say anything, a screwdriver, a hammer, whatever it may be, which he clearly did not have anything on his person. But what if he did? Does that garner him being shot 3 times at point blank by 3 men who think they just went out hunting? Ahmaud Arbery should be alive today. And he's not. And we get that. We get that. But at least we can look at this story and this man's life and learn from it and unlearn the hate that is out there. And hopefully, aside from this man finding justice within the court system, if we find a way of learning from this, the whole world, mainly this country, then maybe his life won't be in vain, or his death won't be in vain. You know, there's a bunch of other people who have tried to throw these young black men and women under the bus. Oh, they had a rap sheet or they didn't have a rap sheet. Who gives a damn? This is still somebody's life that is not here anymore, because all he did was run into a construction site and take a look at it because he liked looking at the bones of a house. Where's the crime in that? And yet where is the angry mob? Outside of these people's homes, making those three men's lives a living hell while they were out hiding. Actually, not even hiding. They were breathing in the freedom air, having a good old time for months before they were brought in. Months, y'all. Because they had hookups within the system. Oh, don't you worry. We will be covering this story as it continues, this trial as it continues. Because here's the thing. At least on my channel, this man's life, this man's death will not be in vain. We are going to learn from this. We are going to grow from this. Because I hope that this is one of the last stories we have to cover, where a young man is taken down because some dudes feel like they are the law. Suddenly they think they're Judge Dredd up here. That should never happen to anybody, regardless of your race. But there it is, guys. Jury selection has begun on Ahmaud Arbery, on the Ahmaud Arbery trial. We will be covering it when they give us pieces and all that. We will be covering this story. And I hope it ends on a positive note. I mean, it will never be a full positive note, because this man is still not here with us. A young, aspiring man, young, aspiring black man. It's no longer here. But at least I hope when it comes to the verdict, and I hope it's a quick trial, I hope it's a speedy ass trial. I just hope that this man's life and death isn't in vain, and that we all learn from this story. All of us. Not just black people saying, oh, okay, apparently in Georgia, you can't drive through, you can't run through certain neighborhoods. I hope we learn something more from this. Anyway. Moving on to the next story. This case really gets me. It really does. It really, really does. This man did nothing. And the fact that we're even talking about this is a case. This should be a open and closed case. This should not be as polarizing. I'm sorry. I'm still on this, but I'm still going to say this. This should be an open and closed situation. It still blows my mind that we're in a time where this is so polarizing, that this man right here, this young man's face, becomes a polarizing conversation. The dislikes go up and the people want to throw in the N-word and say all these rude things. Why? You take the melanin out of this man's skin and you give him the same story. Everybody and their mama is going to sit there and say that this is unjust. People won't sleep because they're so angry and so moved. But of course, when he has melanin in his skin, suddenly it becomes polarizing. He shouldn't have ran into the construction site. He shouldn't have done this, that, and the third. Oh, I heard he has this and that, the other. Who gives a damn? This man's life, is just as important as anybody else's on this planet. And how he died is wrong. But for some weird ass reason, you throw in the word black, it becomes polarizing. Oh, well, in that case. Oh, well, in that case. It breaks my heart that I have to, me or anybody else, has to sit here and try to draw up the scenario for you. For some of y'all who are watching that are hitting the dislike button like it's going out of style. For those y'all, I have to sit here and go, imagine he wasn't black. I have to actually say those words for certain people to understand. It's a damn shame. Like I said, I'm hoping that this story, this trial, makes people learn and makes people wake the F up. Because this man did not deserve to lose his life. But he lost his life because of the color of his skin. And you can't tell me otherwise. Now moving on. We got one last story for you guys. It's like Debbie Downer Day. I'm going to be real. It's like Debbie Downer Day. But, you know, we got to talk about these other things too. All right. And if you feel me on what I'm saying right now, you know, on this show and all that, please be sure to hit that like button down below. Got to do that shameless plug and most definitely crush that subscribe button. It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. But we got to go into this last story. All right. Our last story of the day. All right. So let me pull this up right quick. And this is short. This is a short one, but it's not great news. And it all revolves around our former U.S. Secretary of State, Colin Powell, has died at the age of 84 from complications of the vid. You know, doesn't matter where you stand on your thoughts of where he stands politically and whatnot. He did serve our country, and it is still a terrible story. It's still terrible news. So Colin Powell is the first Black U.S. Secretary of State. He has died from complications of after contracting the 19. And a statement from his family said he was 84. Powell was previously had been diagnosed with multiple myeloma, a type of blood cancer in plasma cells that suppresses the body's immune system or immune response. And of course, he was fully vaccinated. And of course, no matter what, the virus got him and he died due to complications. So I just wanted to say a big may he rest in peace and thank you for your service. Former U.S. Secretary of State Colin Powell. You know, it's not great when you hear stories like that ever. Especially people who have dedicated their lives to this country, making things better, or trying to make things better for this country. And it sucks. I hate that this is the way, you know, the vid, this thing, the Rona that's flying around. I hate when people are dying and passing away from this terrible, terrible virus. I do have my own personal opinions about the virus. I can't really talk much about it, unfortunately, because, you know, the platforms and all that. But I just wish it wasn't like this. If we were careful in the very beginning of this whole thing, before the panty went down. If we did everything we could beforehand, maybe he'd still be here. Or maybe he would have a little bit more time on this planet. But it is a terrible way to go. It's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. And like I said, may he rest forever in peace. But yeah, it sucks, y'all. It really, really sucks. And Zozo Bob, thank you. My lemo suppresses your immune system, so it doesn't matter if you got the poke or not. So thank you for that clarification. I do appreciate that clarification, because I know a lot of people, there's a lot of people out here that feel, oh yeah, it doesn't even matter if you get up to date or not, blah, blah, blah. I am not here to say anything that is any type of misinformation. All I know is that it has done wonderful things for a lot of people who have contracted the Rona, but have had very minimum or to no symptoms at all because they were up to date. That's from what I've seen and what I've witnessed on my end. But Laura Estrada ain't wrong, Show the love to your parents and all that. Be responsible around them. Don't do anything too stupid. You know what I'm saying? We want our family to be. We want our family members, our loved ones, to be here as long as we bloody can make them be here, right? And I know for a fact I could never forgive myself if I was irresponsible and did something really stupid, went out somewhere, and then just took whatever was on me and brought it over to my elders and to my parents and loved ones. Could never do that. Could never do that. I could never do that. So do what you need to do. Do your research. Get up to date if you know what I'm saying. Just do the right thing. A little bit. I'm glad you asked that question real quick before I wrap up the show. Did you cover Christina Nance, by the way? Christina Nance, yes, I did. I did a live yesterday afternoon talking about the entire thing. And the Pioneer, yes, I still wear a mask out as well. I'm not messing around, man. I ain't playing. I am not playing. I got better things to do than to try to catch something that I don't want to catch. All right. This stuff scares the hell out of me, the bejesus out of me. All right. So yeah, I'm still wearing masks when I'm out and doing my thing as well. But with the Christina Nance story, I did do a live yesterday. Go check it out. Please go and do that. Okay. Please go check it out. I did a whole story about that because it doesn't make any sense. Like I've been saying for like the past 2 weeks or something like that. With this particular story, the math ain't mathin', period. This woman is gone. They found her in a police van on police grounds in their parking lot, a police van that was rarely used, if not ever used, right? Then the family begs and pleads for for security camera footage. The police department says, well, we don't know if our footage goes all the way back that far. Say what? So that doesn't make any sense. But then what's really funny, the kicker is when they gave them body cam footage. Like I said, a little bit, you need to go check it out, my brother. Your mind will be blown. It don't make any sense. When you see the footage, when you see the security cam footage, you were going to ask yourself, how is this usable footage? Like I said, and I said it in the other one, so please go check it out. Go check out that show from yesterday. because this is a story that needs to get out. Christina Nance's story needs to get out. All right. Just like the Gabby Petitos and the Brian Laundrie stories, this story needs to be out there. Most definitely. This story needs to see the light of day on so many levels. So please go check that one out. And please share it if you can. Tweet it, whatever. Okay. But what's so weird to me, okay, is the security camera footage. You're a police department and you only have one angle and it's from like a whole country mile back. She's like this big in the footage. You'll see it. I played over and over again. I literally had to put my face up against the screen just to see what the hell was going on. Just letting you know. Like I said, and I'm sounding like some old like Agatha Christie mystery book, but something is afoot. That's all I'm saying. Take a look at it for yourself. Consume it. Watch the show. And I'm telling you, the last stream I just did, I'm telling you, you're going to sit there and go, no, some ain't right. Some ain't right here. So go and check it out, please, because I don't want to talk about it anymore because I've already talked about it before. So do me that favor. Go check it out. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Okay? But anyway, guys, that is the show today. Okay? I appreciate all y'all for being on, man. Thank you guys so much for being on, chopping it up with me. By the way, do me a favor. I see a bunch of guys still here in here. Aside from you guys hitting that like button down below, definitely hit that like button, of course. Please go follow me on Instagram. It is The Pascal Show. One word. Please go follow me on Instagram. And of course, please follow me on Twitter. I'm trying to bulk those bad things up. You know what I mean? I'm trying to bulk those bad boys up. So please go hit that like button over, hit that subscribe button over on both those channels. That would be greatly appreciated. All right. Don't forget, of course, to hit that like button, like I just said a second ago, and of course, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, y'all. Hit that subscribe button. I had a great time hanging out with you guys, chopping it up. I appreciate all the phone calls, by the way. And I appreciate you guys, sticking around because there's other conversations that need to be had on this channel other than what we've been covering for a while. There are bigger stories that are happening that we need to talk about. And hopefully you guys enjoy them, stick around, and be a part of the conversation. All right? Hit those like buttons. Send those likes past 600 likes. That would mean a lot. And it's time to get going, guys. All right? I appreciate all y'all. I might be doing a pop-up later on tonight. I don't know yet. It depends on if there's something popping off. If there is, I might be doing a show around 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. But I'll let you know in the community and in Discord, on the community page and on Discord, if I am going on live tonight. Okay? I love all you guys. Stay blessed out there. Oh, please go check out the new merch in light of what? Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Special edition hoodies. I will be also autographing every single one that is ordered and bought. So please go to thepascalshowmerch.com. Go buy you a hoodie. Go buy you a t-shirt. Save the boobies, y'all. That's all I'm saying. It's as simple as that, baby. Save the boobies. Yeah. Anyway, much love to you guys. I appreciate all y'all. Stay blessed out there. It's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center, a professional nuisance wildlife management company specializing in providing animal removal for residential, industrial, and commercial clients. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. Exactly which animal are we dealing with? How is the animal getting inside the home? What kind of damage is the animal doing to the structure? Once we get the answers to all of these questions, we develop and write up an action plan to resolve the animal issue completely. and provide a quote to implement that action plan. We perform a very in-depth 70-point wildlife inspection. From visually inspecting the highest point, the chimney, to physically crawling inside the attic space and looking for animals, chewed wires, fecal matter, chewed structural wood. We inspect everything. Our inspection process covers all of the following 70 points: animal-proof chimney cap, roof ridge vents, roof to soffit junctions, dormer fascia, attic gable vents, gutter lines, fascia trim, garage door, utility penetrations, water, gas, electric, and cable, bathroom vents, attic roof ridge vents, attic electrical, wiring, junctions, boxes, and lighting, concrete decks, additions, wooden crawl spaces, basement plumbing, penetrations, ceiling, floor, and wall. Wildlife Command Center's mission is to deliver the finest quality wildlife removal and pest control service that is safe for the environment. For more information, call us now.